Okay, so we're working on this Glacier Bay basic shower control today, and the first problem is when you turn it, it's supposed to start cold and then get hot. Cold and hot, but it gets hot immediately. It gets hot immediately here. Should be only hot here, but it's also hot here. So there's no cold water. Only hot. So we're gonna start by turning off the water to the area, both cold and hot. Okay, both valves are shut off now, cold and hot. We're gonna let the water run now, so there's nothing left. Same with the toilet here, just to be on the safe side. Okay, there should be no water left here. Nothing at all. Okay, good. We're gonna start by popping off this and unscrewing there. The doorknob, the knob is gonna come off. Okay, handle is off. Important thing to always put something over the drain so you don't lose it. And now we can just unscrew this. Okay, that actually exposes the cartridge data or the control data. Now I'm going to cut the silicone here, which I used. Unfortunately, I was kind of proud of it, and remove these two screws so that we can remove this part. So I'm going to use my screwdriver to remove these two now. But just before I do, this can actually come off. Little adapter. I'm not sure if it's significant how it's on there, but I guess I will put it down sort of exactly how I took it off. Something like that. Okay, onto these two screws and then this metal part. As mentioned, I used silicone just to be on the safe side. So I have to cut it and then do these two screws. Okay. I want to note down all the positions of everything here. So this is like a 345 or something position here. Apparently it controls the flow. So I'm gonna try to set the new one in the same way. But now onto grabbing by these flat spots with bigger pliers and unscrewing this part. Well, looks like I am able to move this whole thing. Sort of want to double check both cold and hot water, but they are off. Okay. So now I'll compare this to the new unit. My new unit is kind of weird because this white part comes out and I can squish it back in. Thank God there's a notch right there, which only allows it to go in one way, so we know. Otherwise, I think, other than just a different color, I think they look the same. I may just have to adjust it a bit to match that. I should have got my manual, which shows me which flow is heavier or whatever, but this seems to be wiggling, which it should, so I should be able to just pull out the whole thing. Okay, as expected, it just came out. And one way I can tell this one is broken is because when I move it up and down, this little thing here is stuck inside on a new one and goes up and down. Okay, so we should just be able to push the new one in. This is what I was talking about. See, there's a piece inside that moves back and forth, and it was stuck on the old one. So I'm just gonna push it in, making sure that I align these bottom again, and then sort of plus legs with the openings, holes at the bottom here. Okay, I pushed it in, not too hard, not to damage anything at the back there, but I could feel it kind of locking in place. And then I'm gonna use this part. Again, I'm gonna align the notch, and this will fight, this will want to come out. So the idea here, see, the idea is that we're gonna use this color immediately to push it in. So start screwing it in and push it all in. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna screw it onto it. One thing I didn't do is I didn't mark the position to know what torque setting, sort of what exact stopping point does this color have, but I had a video, so I roughly know that that's where my flat spots are. However, I did not take the count of the turns, so now I honestly don't know if I need to be cranking more or not. Looks like I can do it by hand, but I am not sure how much. So as you unscrew your color, I recommend that you count how many turns you make. So again, my biggest oversight was the fact that I did not count how many rotations. I don't know the torque on this color, but I'm just gonna test it for leaks. By the way, I also put this thing back on. Okay, and what I did was, before I turned the water on, just wanted to make sure that it's in a closed position. So this is open and this is closed. Okay, off and on, left on, obviously. So I'm just gonna close it, turn the water slowly back on, and check for leaks from the other side. I have access to it on the other side. So water is on. I don't see any leaks from the other side. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna install this color back on, and I'm gonna actually try to turn the water on before I do anything else. This wasn't very tight under. Again, I have to check my video where this dot was to make sure I don't over torque it. And I'll turn the water on. This should be only hot water, only cold water now. But I won't know until I go all the way. Actually, I'm gonna close it just for a second and go to the other side and check for leaks again. Okay, let's do it. Let's use the hot water. On the way. Nice and hot. Nice and hot. That should be middle. Yep, it's lukewarm. That should be cold. And it's cold, yes. So it should be good to go. Reinstall. I'm just going to check for leaks again. Seems to be alright. So I'm just going to reinstall. It's already tightened by hand only. Just going to reinstall the handle, put a screw in and put a cover. Well, before I do that, I have to take the clear silicone off and put the plate on first. And I'm going to reapply silicone later. So, getting close. Okay, so I put the cover back on, found the openings for the screws, and I literally just am hand tightening them. And there's no need for any torque on them. And then I'm reinstalling the knob, and we'll be testing a little bit more.